Have you ever actually wondered where the world ends? I don't mean in some metaphorical sense. I mean literally. Where is the last possible road you could drive on? Well, today, we're going to take a trip to that exact spot. We're going to the absolute edge of the Earth. So where does it go, right? If you just got in your car and drove as far north as humanly possible, what would you even find when the pavement just stops? Well, it's called Highway E69. And it's pretty much the northernmost road on the entire planet. This thing literally takes you to the doorstep of the North Pole. It's not just some road, it's the final tiny thread connecting our world to the massive, icy wilderness of the Arctic. Okay, so let's start our journey on this incredible highway. It's only about 14 kilometers long, which sounds short, right? But believe me, it's a drive that takes you to a completely different world. So yeah, Highway E69, it connects the very northern tip of Norway to what feels like the end of everything. It's just those 14 kilometers, and then that's it. Nothing. No more land, no more road, just this vast, frozen expanse of the Arctic Ocean. Now, here's the catch. The environment here is so extreme that you can't just, rent a car and go for a joyride. Traveling alone is actually forbidden. You have to be part of a group, a convoy, because the risk of getting lost in a blizzard in that blinding snow is just way too high. But the challenges? Oh, they go way beyond just not getting lost. I mean, to survive up here in the extreme north, you have to endure some of the most brutal conditions on the planet. We're talking about a place where the basic ideas of day and night get completely turned upside down. Just to give you an idea, in the winter, temperatures can drop to a staggering minus 43 degrees Celsius. Think about that. That is a level of cold most of us can't even comprehend. But for the people who live here, it's just another Tuesday. And the extremes don't stop with the cold. Life here is ruled by this totally different rhythm of light. For up to 6 months of the year, the sun never comes up. It is perpetual polar night. And then the seasons flip. And for months, the sun never sets. You get this surreal 24/7 daylight known as the midnight sun. And even with that sun hanging in the sky all day and all night, you can't exactly break out the swim trunks. The average summer temperature, it hovers right around freezing, 0 degrees Celsius. So there's no warm season here, just a less cold one. Now, you're probably thinking, who on earth would choose to live in a place like that? But there's this incredibly tough and resilient community that calls this region home, and how they've adapted is just a fascinating story. You see, for generations, the whole economy was built on one thing, fishing. But then, back in the 1930s, things started to change. The community made this really smart move. They looked around at their unique, rugged home and thought, hey, maybe other people would want to see this. They decided to welcome tourists. It was a huge gamble, but man, did it pay off. Today, what used to be a quiet little fishing outpost is a destination for travelers from all over the world, with its own hotels and restaurants. So why would people brave the endless dark and the bone-chilling cold to come all the way up here? Well, the reward. The payoff. It's one of the most spectacular natural shows on the entire planet. We are talking, of course, about the aurora, that incredible light show. It's basically charged particles from the sun smashing into atoms in our atmosphere. It's a little bit of science that creates what feels like pure magic. This is what you came for. Against this deep, dark canvas of the polar night, you get these otherworldly curtains of green and sometimes even pink, light just dancing across the entire sky. It's an experience that people say is just deeply moving and, yeah, kind of romantic. And that feeling right there is what this whole journey is about. Over and over, you hear visitors say the same thing. It feels like you've stepped onto another planet. That combination of the raw, powerful landscape and that magical sky, it's something that sticks with you for life. So that brings us to the big question, and this one's for you. After hearing about the extreme cold, the endless nights, and the unbelievable beauty, does that little spark of adventure in you start to flicker? Would you do it? Would you travel to the last road on Earth?